Hey there, thank you for joining us for another riveting episode of Behind Breaking Bond. Joining me at the end there would be...
Yes, I got the window seat today.
You did.
Since I can still do the Southwest Breaking Bond Lottery. And I checked in Andy Kahan, Director of Victim Services, Crimestoppers of Houston, and I have enough sleep, so I feel good.
All right, and special guest star today is Douglas Griffith.
Yes, sir. President of the Houston Police Officers Union. Glad to be here.
I'm sorry, what? Okay, no problem. We're rolling, right? Okay, we got to start over.
Okay.
Well, that's a first.
I know. And three,
Good thing
two,
we're now live.
and 3, 2, 1. Hey there, thank you for joining us for another riveting episode of Behind Breaking Bond. Joining me as usual.
Hey, Andy Kahan, Director of Victim Services, Crimestoppers with the aisle seat.
Doug Griffith, President of the Houston Police Officers Union. Thanks for having us.
You got a middle seat.
He did. Thank you for being here, Doug. We are going to we're going to start out talking about last night's Breaking Bond. Aubrey Davis. Aubrey Davis is the queen.
The queen.
Of
by
bonds.
far. Not just the queen, but she is a candidate for the Guinness Book of World Records. And she's actually adding much more to her toll. So we've done, what, 2 segments on the queen?
Yeah.
This will be the 3rd one because Aubrey's the gift that keeps giving.
The most bonds we've ever seen. 18 bonds for one defendant. What do you think about that?
That's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
It just goes to show you that we hold no one accountable in today's world.
Right.
I mean, this lady, I mean, look at her mugshot. That's enough right there. You know, she's definitely not a 10 at the beach, but she's a solid 4 at Target.
She's on probation. She has 3 probation.
Let me see if I can break this down, and I'll try to do it
follow
slowly.
this.
You got to follow this. So she's on not 1, not 2, but 3 felony probations in Harris County. 2 for aggregate theft and 1 for robbery when she ran out of Subway and the Subway worker chased her down and she ran her over with a car.
And this is all out of the same court.
This is all out of the same court. 1 was in December of 23, 1 was in January of 24, and the other was in March of 24. So they basically cut a sweetheart deal. You get 3 probations, everything else gets dismissed, all the other charges that were pending. So now she's on 3 felony probations. Now keep in mind, she's also has pending charges in 3 different counties: robbery in Galveston, theft in Brazos County, robbery in Fort Bend County. So in addition to that, they also filed 2 more theft charges on her for cases that occurred prior to her receiving probation.
So that would be, you could make the argument that she didn't violate her probation, right? Because the alleged crimes happened before she got the 3 probations.
Absolutely. Right now, up until a few days ago, Aubrey was in condition. She was abiding by her conditions, I guess so. But what happened a couple of days ago kind of puts her on the other end of the scheme now,
Right.
because she didn't show up in Galveston for the robbery charge, and Galveston put a bond forfeiture.
She's basically wanted.
So, Doug, I don't know, you've been around a long time. So we were kind of going back and forth. Is that a violation of your probation when there's a bond forfeiture on you?
Absolutely. Well, another charge, no matter where it is, can violate that probation. Now, my bigger question is, how do you get 3 probations out of the same court?
Have you ever heard of that
I have
before?
never heard that, and that is one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard, because they're going to run concurrent.
Right, yeah.
Now, for years, crooks have went in, got multiple bonds, plead out for 1, the others are dismissed. We've seen that go on time and time again for many years now, which is frustrating in itself.
Yeah.
Because it means you go out there and commit as many crimes as you want. I can have 20 of them. They're going to dismiss 19 of them, so I get charged with 1 and take a plea deal. That's how these crooks operate. They know this. They know they can get on multiple bonds. But this one, when you got 3 probations that are going to run simultaneously, it just boggles my mind. 1, why is the court allowing this?
Right.
Obviously, she's not going to abide by the rules that we have set forth in this state.
Yeah.
So
You think so?
lock her up.
Are you speculating, or are you
Well,
going by?
and one of the things that we
Just
pointed out before,
History.
one of the crimes that she was accused of was taking more than 200 containers of baby food or baby formula out of a Target. One of her conditions, it actually says,
You can't make this up.
right. It says
Read it.
Defendant shall refrain from going to all Target stores in the state of Texas. Have you ever heard that as a bond condition?
I have not. In fact, all she's going to do is, okay, I'll go to Walmart next. So what's the big deal? Unless there's something special about Target.
Right? But it
It is a little higher end. Very
right?
little.
It's almost like the court is saying, "We know what you're going to do, so we're going to
Just don't do
tell
it here."
Do you think this would,
So
if
stay
you
out of
were in
Target.
public affairs in Target, would you go, how can I properly spin this?
Right.
You know,
They
for,
should be able
for
to
an
use this.
ad.
Yes.
You know, we're so good. That, you know, we have to have the state of Texas actually put bond conditions not to enter Target.
that-
Our products are
How
so
are you
great.
going
That's
to
how
know if she
popular
entered
we are.
Target? Anyways.
I don't know.
I mean, is there like giant billboard pictures?
They
of
need
her?
they need a picture with a line, a circle, and a line through it. I guess.
How
So
many
you gotta
Targets
come
are
in.
there in the state of Texas?
Oh,
I
there's
bet
a
a
lot.
lot. A lot would be my guess.
But
We-
again, if she's doing it so many times there, how many times has she not been caught or been caught and released at the store? Because there's a lot of stores that don't prosecute anymore.
Right, yeah.
They take you in, take the stuff back, they send you on your way. How many times has she been caught other places?
Right.
I know Walmart's one of those. They will, a lot of times, they won't prosecute. They get the stuff back, they'll
And
send them on
they'll-
their
yeah, go
way,
away, right.
and give them a trespass warning, don't come back.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So how many times has she done this elsewhere? Kroger's, H-E-B. Who knows how many times she's
I
done this
think it's
elsewhere
time
and
for
just never got caught.
Aubrey needs to diversify. Seriously, I mean, obviously, you know, when you walk in a Target, there's this giant. You would assume a light
Well,
bulb goes off.
I will say this. At least she went a step higher with the robbery.
Right.
You know, when she decided to run somebody over, that kind of sealed the deal right there for her. So that is at least a higher charge.
But
True,
how-
but she still got probation.
right.
We're still bothered.
How is she being helped or rehabilitated by the system?
She's not. She's a
Right.
thief. She will always be a thief. Till the day she dies, she will be a thief. This is all she knows. So until you lock her up for a considerable amount of time, doesn't want, because she could work at Target. But
No, she
outside of
can't.
that, well, not now. But it's just one of those things that you look at it and you go, how?
Yeah.
How? Because people like this are why we have such high prices that we have to pay for items.
That's a good
Or
point.
why it's locked up when we go in there. You know as well as I do, you can't go anywhere and buy a razor without, getting somebody over to help you
Well,
and
yeah.
get it out of there.
Yes.
So, and it's because of people like this.
And,
And
it
it
didn't used
just
to be
kills
like
me.
that
Right.
Absolutely not.
because we actually would prosecute and have some sort of punishment for, quote, nonviolent offenders. But now, since we have this criminal justice reform movement, if you're a nonviolent offender, basically, we're not going to really do much to you. And this is the repercussions for this.
Well, the sad part is we've got so many violent offenders, the courts are clogged with it, and we don't get to do anything except give these people.
And yet
Right.
they wreak more havoc on communities, frankly, because this is what they do. This is their career of choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Most people don't go around, sexually assaulting, murdering people, but they will
Right.
take your property.
Yeah. Most people are more likely to be a victim of having your car stolen or your home
broken
broken into.
So when you look now, okay, so we had 13 bonds in 2023. Now add in the 2 more for 2024. That makes 5. So that's a total of 18 bonds, and we're still not through with 24 yet.
And so in less
Well,
than
at
2
least-
years.
At least he seems to slower roll in
Right.
2024. I'm just saying. That's maybe I'm wrong, but
Progress.
progress.
Except
one
for the
step at
fact
a
that
time.
you wanted for not showing up in Galveston County.
And when you look at somebody like Aubrey Davis, you can understand why people say, what's wrong with the criminal justice system? It seems to be broken. I mean, this is an obvious example of what are you all doing down there? Why would you have somebody in the same court on 3 probation?
Let me give you another example here. This is another one I pulled up. Alfredo Acosta, who's been to the joint now 3 times. Okay, he's been to actually prison. I'm sorry, that was 5 felony convictions. Been to TDCJ 3 times. He is currently out on 6 bonds. Now, he gets a bond in June of 22. He gets a bond in October of 22. He gets 3 bonds in January of 24. 2 of them for possession of a prohibited weapon, one of them a firearm, the other one another possession of a firearm by a felon. So now we're up to 5, and last week he gets charged with DWI. And what do? They give him a PR bond.
And how does that work, right? You already have all these bonds, cash bonds, and then you find a judge, oh, well, I'll give you a get-out-of-jail-free card.
So this is where I've had problems with the courts, because they'll go, oh, they have to get a bond. Texas, Constitution says they have to get a bond. That is correct for the first offense.
Right.
Okay? As they pick up the second, third, fourth, fifth, you can violate them on the first one.
Right.
And they refuse to do it.
Right.
I mean, look, this guy's obviously going to be a violent offender. He likes to carry guns, likes to play with guns. Yes, the last one was a DWI. But how do you let him back out on a PR bond when he's already got 1, 2, 3, 4 felony bonds, and you just go,
So we have him now. He's on a total of 6 bonds right now. And he's been to TDC 3 times. So
you know as well as I do, Doug, that back in the day, this did not happen.
No.
If you got bond and you picked up a new charge, your bond is going to be revoked. The judge is going to say, hey, I let you out on bond. This is what you did. Now you're going to sit in jail until you go to trial.
Yes, or there was a rare instance, if it was nonviolent,
yeah,
they would give them a much higher bond.
Right, right.
I mean, they would have to fork out some money to make sure they're going to come back. Now they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's got 5 bonds. The 6th one is a PR bond.
Here it is, right here.
Who gives
PR
crap?
bond,
Well,
right there.
Aubrey Davis's latest one was what, 5,000?
One was and the other was a general order $100.
Yeah,
bond.
so all she needed was $500 to walk out of jail.
Walk out of jail. And also, going back to Aubrey, so we know we got the bond forfeiture in Galveston for failure. She also failed to appear in Brazos County as well. They didn't give her, they just reset it for another month. But she didn't appear in court in August in Brazos County for another theft charge.
Which understand, that's a lot of what we do in Harris County. If
Yes.
it's a misdemeanor case and they don't show up, they just send them a letter for a new court date.
Right,
They never show up.
right.
They just don't. I think we did that one study, 2 years ago? 16% of the people came back. That's it.
Yeah.
16%.
Well, because nothing's going to happen
Correct.
if you don't show up. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like, in a way, you're almost a fool if you're in misdemeanor court and you go to court, right? If you don't go, if you do nothing, nothing's going to happen to you.
Because you can be out on several bonds. Go back and plead out to the one.
Yeah.
Time served. Boom. You're done.
So Aubrey, let's keep track of Aubrey. Aubrey's due back in a court in Harris County August the 21st to review her conditions of probation. So I can imagine the conversation would be like this. Miss Davis, did you go anywhere near a target? Okay, no.
She's not
Define near.
Right.
I got $10 says she doesn't show.
You got to wonder.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you because she didn't show up in Galveston, and that was just what the
That was the
last-
August the 8th.
the August the 8th.
Yeah, a few days ago, right.
She may be locked up at another state at a different target. Just saying.
She could be. I mean, you never know. What is it going to take
Just
to
saying.
kind of stop all of this from going on?
You got to start taking this seriously.
Yeah.
We have to start locking people up. First of all, our jail is full, yet we've got a 20% deficit from 2 years ago in the state prison.
Yeah.
So let's start putting some of these clowns where they belong, in prison.
Right.
We can reduce a ton of the people in the Harris County Jail right now, and the ones that we're also housing in Louisiana, because I want to say it's close to 3,000 over there. I don't know for 300, 3,000, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't have people anywhere else. But because we're paying for that.
Right.
Our tax money is going for that. So start putting those people where they belong, in prison. And then maybe, just maybe, crime will start to come down when you see these violent offenders getting locked up for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and they don't
Right.
get out.
And these people that feel like everybody can be rehabilitated, well, aren't there programs in prison?
Absolutely.
You know, let's put them in prison for 2 or 3 years and try to rehabilitate them that way. Maybe some of them will come out and they'll walk the straight and narrow, and that's great.
I've got no problem spending my tax money on trades in prison. Teach them how to build engines. Teach them how to do plumbing,
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't care. Teach them a vocation so when they get out, they'll be proud of themselves and stop doing stupid crap like this. Some, you're not going to get that.
Right.
It's just they are what they are. They're crooks. They're always going to be crooks.
Yes.
They're best locked up.
There are people that don't want to live the 9-to-5 grind where you go to work every day, and they don't want that. For whatever reason, they don't want to live that life. Maybe it's more exciting to be a criminal.
I have no idea. All I know
I'm the kind of person I'd get caught the first time. First thing I tried,
I
I'd
don't want
get
to look
caught.
over my back like that. I just don't.
Yeah, right.
You know, I like to think I work hard every day, and I've accomplished something.
Right.
I have a home. I have a car. I have a family, and I look at that and go, I did pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm not rich.
Being a self-sufficient human being is a good thing. Just knowing that you can take care of yourself, keep a roof over your head, and food in your stomach. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
I'll tell you, I come from a neighborhood. Most people know it, Cloverleaf. It is a less than desirable neighborhood, but I come out of that because I had parents that actually gave a crap.
Yeah.
And put a hand on my backside when I needed it, made sure I stayed in school. And I started working when I was 15 years old, and I haven't looked back. And I'm proud of the fact that I was able to get out of that neighborhood and have something, make something, a family, and have something to be proud of. And, you know, some of these guys, they just need a chance. I get that.
Right.
I get that. Let's give them that chance. Even if they're in prison, you can give them that opportunity. The problem is the ones that don't want that opportunity
Right.
and are never going to want that opportunity. All they want to do is cause mayhem and hurt people. And those are the individuals we need to lock up and throw away the key.
And you can look at someone's criminal history and see who those people are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yet for some reason you look at Aubrey's history and
Boggles the mind.
But then, okay, if you're Aubrey, well, why am I going to stop? Right? No one is really doing anything to stop me,
it's
so
catch me
I'm
if
just
you
going to keep
can,
doing
and
it.
even
Yeah.
if I'm caught, nothing's going to happen to me because I'm doing this all over the state.
How much time is she spending in jail?
Minimal.
Yeah.
She's never
A
been
day
to prison.
here, a day there until she gets
Yeah.
until
It's
she
like
gets
it's like a little break. I take a little, break in the action, get to chill out a little bit,
Right.
get my act in gear, and plot out my next crime. So
Yeah. Well, for some people, a little jail stay, you're going to get 3 meals and a cot, right? I mean, you're
Well, for the normal person, that jail stay's gonna scare the crap out of you. You never
Right.
want to go back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what we see. That's why I have no problem giving people second chances. But that is.
I kind of draw the line on
yeah,
the 13th one.
yeah,
maybe
you know,
I don't know.
you have to
Maybe
draw a line
after
somewhere,
maybe
and that's
double
where,
digits.
you know.
I think if you hit double digits, you're
I'm sorry if you get popped more than 3 times.
All right, I'm
you're
going to
done.
give this to you because this is my crime of the day person being booked in, and I want you to tell me the person's name because this
Oh,
is
no.
one
Now
of the
you would
great-
ask me this because I
am.
don't
Look,
have my glasses.
Randy, you can. What is that person's name? We can get the first name. Come on, we've been doing all this at work.
Lorenzo.
What?
he loves doing this to me. He'll find these
Lorenzo.
defendants. How do you say this name? I don't know.
Koku? Koku? C-O-C-U-E? Is that what that is? I can't see it. I really don't have my glasses.
Kukulkak.
Kukulkak.
Cuckoo-cock.
Lorenzo Kukulkak.
Cuckoo-cock.
Kukulkak.
Cuckoo-cock. It's fun to say.
Isn't it?
Oh, I thought that
Can
was
you
a dot.
imagine?
I thought that was a dot com.
Can you imagine
That's
in
how bad
court?
my eyes are.
Will Mr. Kukulkak please approach the bench?
You know, you have to wonder too. Some people, they get these crazy names,
You're screwed.
and it makes their
You're
life
doomed
harder.
at birth. When I was a parole officer, true story, many decades, moons ago, centuries, I had a guy whose honest to goodness name was Billy Willie Lee Pertite.
What?
His Billy Willie Lee Pertite. I'm sorry, dude, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doomed at birth. You might as well just order your prison cell with that name.
Yeah.
We had,
Names matter.
yes. We had Southeast. I had a guy by the name of Nimrod. That was his first name. And I'm like,
Nimrod?
yeah, why? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, okay.
When I was in third grade, I went to school with a kid. His name was Stanley Stanley. His last name was Stanley, and his first name was Stanley.
Makes it easy.
Right?
I guess.
His dad developed Stanley tools.
I had another guy named Lord.
Really?
Lord Frederick was his name.
Nice.
I think names matter.
They do.
Lord? Different meaning. Definitely different meaning.
Yeah, you don't want to be outside screaming,
No.
Lord, it's time for dinner.
Good Lord. Come on in. Come on down. So, yes.
Aubrey even
So I want to
went
thank
national.
Aubrey. Yeah, we did a national segment a couple of weeks ago on Newsmax. Can I say that on here? Okay. So yeah, we did. That's how good this story is. I mean, the
You
gift.
can't beat it.
No, you can't. I want to thank you. You probably aren't watching wherever you are. You're probably at a Target, or maybe you're going.
No, she's not at a Target.
Walmart
Don't accuse her of being at
right
Target.
now, but I think this breaks our record too. This is the third time we've done a segment on the same defendant.
Yeah.
She's the gift that keeps giving.
Well, and every time you find out more, right? I mean, it's
Well, every time you bring her up, she's got more cases.
right.
Makes it easy.
So the question is right now, okay, you've got a bond forfeiture in Galveston County, which according to our expert here is a violation of your probation,
Right.
Absolutely.
which means that there should be a motion to adjudicate your deferred, right?
The one in
Right,
Galveston
right.
is a violent offense because it was a robbery, correct?
Yes.
Right.
So that
One
should
here,
definitely, because it
So
says you can't commit
when we
felony.
put Aubrey's picture, let's make it perfectly clear that she is wanted right now.
Yeah, right.
Right, for bond forfeiture.
Hey, before we run out of time, let's talk about, you brought this up, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about defendants who were basically preying on barrel victims. Remember that?
Yeah, that was a big story in, I guess, the local paper, whatever you want to call them these days.
Yeah.
On that today. So, yeah, I mean, we knew it. We nailed it. We knew this, weeks before, and we've actually tracked over 50 now. So I'm documenting what's happening with the 50 individuals who thought nothing about breaking into businesses. The businesses were shut up during the hurricane, and most of them are mom and pop businesses, and stealing their property. And because it occurred during a disaster, penalty should be enhanced from a state jail to a third-degree felony. And I hope all of them go to prison, because we're going to be watching.
Yeah, you're going to make sure or you're going to see if that actually does happen.
That's my lot in life. And you're going to have a new chief, right?
Yes, sir. We have Chief Noe Diaz coming on tomorrow, so we're excited about that. A new chapter for HPD. We're excited. And
When Mayor Whitmire was talking before, when he announced him, he brought up the whole issue of people being out on multiple bonds.
and I think part of the issue is the mayor wants somebody that's going to speak out. He's going to speak out against some of these judges, and we need that. And I think our chief needs to do that as well, because from a union standpoint, we do. We jump out there. I mean, heck, I'd like to say we're partially responsible for getting 6 people primaried in the Democratic side.
Sure, yes.
But on top of that, our officials need to do the same. You can't be afraid to speak up for what's right, for what's best for not only your city, but your profession. So as a profession, we have to do what's right to make sure criminals stay where they belong, in jail or in prison.
Yeah, and you all are you're right on the front line, seeing these same people over and over again.
As
Yes.
I like to say, arresting them is fine. The real story is what happens after you book them.
Yes,
Correct. Because we get tired of seeing the same people over and over.
right.
I mean, we just do. It's a fact. And that makes it more dangerous as well for us, because
Of course.
at some point these guys know, yeah, I may actually go to jail. And, we've lost officers. Bill Jeffries, a prime example, going after a felony warrant on a suspect, and he ambushes them. That's when it really sinks in for our people and for the city, for that matter,
Right.
because nobody wants to see those that are protecting you hurt or killed.
Right.
And so we look forward to that. Also hope to hear something next couple of days from what's going on right now in the DA's office,
Right.
with some indictments coming down. That should be kind of exciting to watch.
We'll be paying attention. We are out of time. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Remember to Watch Breaking Bond every Tuesday night at 9, and then Behind Breaking Bond at 12:30 on Wednesdays on all our social media platforms. Hey, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else.
And if you see Aubrey Davis at Target, let us know.
Be sure to. Thank you. Bye.